We've made the mistakes. We know what has to be done. It is fucking winning season, baby. It is time to fucking take this business to where it needs to be. It is time to take this business from 0 to 1 million, motherfucker. Let's fucking go. We are fucking back, everybody. Welcome back to 0 to 1 million, where I will be building a business from 0 to 1 million. My name is Liam. Don't ask me what episode this is, because I have no fucking clue. But we are back in the game, everybody. I'm sorry that, these episodes are coming out so infrequently. It's just like, my head's not in it. Here are the three main points of focus in my life right now, right? As you guys know, I have this content business. That's what keeps me going, paying my bills, doing all that stuff, right? We obviously got our business that we're bringing to $1 million, our real estate company, right? And then third has been the podcast. So if you don't know, I got a podcast called Chump Change. I'll put a link in the description. I do it with my cousin. We talk about business, life, and dick jokes. And we've had some great guests on. We had Dave Rubin. We just had Neil Ford on, who's the guy from TikTok. I'll put a little box right here. Love this guy. He's fucking awesome. And if you want to keep up with this narrative, if you want to keep up with this story on a weekly basis, like, this is the place that, I talk about it. I talk about my life, and we talk about, whatever's going on in the world, stuff like that. But we've been super active. We're about to put out episode number 27 now, and we have not missed a week. We've been doing it 27 weeks straight. We will continue to do it. I love doing it. It's fun. So definitely go check that out. Anyway, let's get into the episode, guys. So look, life happens in seasons, right? I know we touched on the last episode that, I've been in a season of kind of chilling, a little more domesticated, right? My life has been very hectic over the last few years, and so I've just been taking the opportunity to kind of kick back, relax, and just breathe, right? That's over. I'm ready to get back into it. I'm like, fuck that, right? So, story time. As I mentioned, we got this podcast, right? When we had Dave Rubin on the podcast, we actually impressed him so much that at the end of the episode, he said, incredible experience, right? It was fucking awesome. Why am I telling you this? Well, before we went to the show, me and my cousin, we went to go get some sushi. So we're sitting at the sushi place eating some food, and I get a call from a local number. I didn't recognize it, but I answered it, and I'm like, hello? And the guy goes, hey, this is, I'm not gonna say his name, but whatever. Hey, this is Joe. I was calling you because you bought my cousin's property like a year ago, and I'm interested in selling mine as well. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm eating sushi. I'm like, all right, like, I collect a little bit of info, right? Tell me about the property. Okay, like, let's talk, in a couple days. I'm a little hectic right now. Let me give you a call, tomorrow or Thursday, whatever it is, and we can discuss a little further, right? So at this point, I've been doing this business for almost 2 years now, which is fucking crazy to think about. A couple things I've learned. Number one, your price is your price, right? When you run numbers on a deal and you're like, all right, this is the price we need to be at. In the beginning, I'd be like, I need to be at 80,000, but if I can get 84, like, I'm sure I can make it work, right? Now, no, 80,000. That's the number. I used to feel bad about that. I used to feel like uncertain. Now I know. That's the number, right? I know what someone's going to buy a deal for. Number two, if you negotiate with sellers, they'll negotiate with you back. If you don't, they won't. So I speak to this guy a few days later, right? We're talking numbers. We're really getting down to business. I could tell he's serious, right? I've qualified him. Definitely wants to sell. He's ready to go. I say, hey, look, like, what's it going to take to get this deal done? He tells me he's looking, for like 100,000 or like 120,000 for the property, right? And I've been in the game long enough now. I'm not going to waste my time with a lead like that. I said, look, I'm not anywhere close to that. Like, I could offer you around like, maybe 65,000, something like that. Is that something you'd ever consider? He's like, yeah, well, I could do that. Okay. I just got $50,000 off the property, I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, let me do a little bit of research. Let me talk to my finance team, and let me see if I can get like a concrete offer for you, all right? He's like, all right. Give him a call back after a few hours. I had done some research. I'm like, all right, realistically, if I get this property at like 70,000, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna make some money on it. I start him out, I think, at like 60. I'm like, I could do 60,000, right? He's like, could you do 70? I'm like, nope. When you just give them a concrete offer, they look at you more as like an authority, right? Like if I were going to try to sell you guys a product and I was like, I could give a total fuck if you actually buy the product, right? You're going to trust that it's a good product, as opposed to if I'm like,
hey guys, buy this product, we have a 50% off last sale, we really,
right? And like, I make all these sacrifices for you, it makes you feel like this is not something valuable, right? Instead, I just go the other direction. I'm like, look, we got a lot of houses that we're buying. I really, if you don't want to do the deal, that's fine. We're going to buy probably 5 or 10 houses this month, so it doesn't matter to me. Just let me know, if you want to do the deal. And this, I think, is going to be really valuable in our upcoming plan, which we'll get into in a second. After a little bit of back and forth, we ended up netting out a price of $64,200 for the property. Reason it had to be that specific was because he collected rent already, and he wanted to keep the rent money that he collected, so I need a credit for that money, because I can't just buy the property and not have rent. So I got credited through the rest of the lease term, $64,200. I ended up getting this deal sold. Took me about 2 weeks. I got it sold for $85,000. I have to pay the agent a $6,000 commission. So we are going to net out of this deal at $14,200, and this deal just fucking fell from the sky. It was a referral, but we've done 3 deals lifetime, so to have a referral, we must be doing a good job. And so yeah, I mean, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And now I feel like because this deal just fell out of nowhere, I feel like it's a sign that this is the chance. We struggled, we sweated out, for these first 3 deals, and so it didn't work, right? We weren't able to use those deals to build the business because I didn't have the skill set, right? And now, after I take a break, I feel confident. I feel like I've done this a lot of times. Now a deal just falls from the sky. I'm like, fuck, dude, this is the opportunity. This is what we've been waiting for. And so that gets into our 90-day plan, right? We got this deal closing. It's going to close next week. Now I'm working on a plan of all right, we have money again, right? We got a little bit of runway. It's very expensive to run this business. We have another opportunity. How do we not fuck this up? How do we make this the time where actually becomes a sustainable thing that we can grow, right? We just need consistency, right? We need consistent deal flow instead of getting a deal, spending money, not getting, another deal from the money we spent, and then running out of money, and then having to fucking sweat it out for another deal. We don't want to do that, right? What we want to do is we want to get a deal, reinvest, get another deal, reinvest, and have it be consistent. And when it's consistent and you have a process and it's predictable, now you can start to scale. You don't want to scale something that doesn't work, right? You want to make it work and then scale. So let's talk about it. Before we actually get into the plan, let's kind of talk about just a couple of lessons that I learned. I kind of touched on it before regarding, negotiating or not negotiating, being firm in the way you talk to sellers, sounding like an authority. These are all things that I've gotten very good at. But even on top of that, I've missed out on a number of deals that I've had in my system because of lack of follow-up, or maybe even more so than that, just not effective follow-up. It's not like I wasn't following up enough. I wasn't following up effectively. And so now we're putting together a lead process. Let me kind of break this down with an example, right? Let's say, every time my VA sends in a lead, if we take all the costs associated with that and we divide it by the amount of leads that we get per month, let's say we pay $40 a lead, right? And let's say we're very lenient with our criteria because, we don't want to be so quick to cut out, potential opportunities. So let's say $40 a lead, 1 in every 100 leads becomes a deal. $4,000 to get a deal. If Liam, if I can follow up, let's say I can contact 400 leads a month, right? We're going to get 4 deals based off of that math, right? 1 in 100 is a deal, 400 calls, 4 deals. This is just an example. Well, now let's think about this. I said, we don't want to cut opportunities because they're opportunities, right? We're spending money on the leads, we might as well follow up. Well, what if instead of that approach, we took a different approach where we said, only the best, only the most qualified leads stay in our system, everything else, get the fuck out, right? And because of that criteria, maybe only 1 in every 4 leads that we get, we actually keep. The rest we just delete, right? And so the cost of our lead, a real lead, the cost goes up from 40 to 160 because we have to get 4 leads just to keep 1. But because we're being more effective in our criteria, it's 1 in every 25 now, right? Because it used to be 1 in every 100. Now it's going to be 1 in every 25 leads as a deal. Well, if I make those same 400 calls, right? Because I'm the same person, I have the same amount of time. If I make those same 400 calls, I'm going to do 16 deals instead of the original 4. By tightening up your criteria and actually spending more money on less leads, you actually net out with a significantly better result. And I did not know this in the beginning, right? They don't teach you this shit in the beginning, right? That cutting out leads that you're spending your hard-earned money for will actually make it more likely, more predictable, and more profitable to run your business. And so this is kind of the plan now, right? The plan now is to fucking cut out everything. Cut out all the garbage. All the people where their house is, worth $150,000 and they're like, I want $250,000. Fuck you. I'm not ready to sell right now. Fuck you. We want people where the price is good, where they're ready to roll, where they're not going to be difficult, and if they don't fit the ideal seller profile, Eat dirt, motherfucker. And I'm confident that with this approach, we will get a significantly better approach. It's counterintuitive for someone that wants to squeeze the most out of every opportunity, but I promise you, it is going to provide a better result. So we're going to qualify harder. We're going to be more quick to delete leads and kick them out of the system. We're only going to follow up with the leads that most deserve our attention. And because of that, I believe we're going to be able to have consistent deal flow. And so when we scale up, I'm going to have 2 VAs working part-time. I think, I'm predicting they'll probably get about 200 leads a month. I used to follow up with all 200. Now I'm going to follow up with maybe 50. Maybe. The rest will go into a folder. We're not going to delete the data, but it'll go into a folder and we'll call them like once a year. That's it. They're not worth the time. And so now that I'm only going to focus my time on the best leads, like how could this not work, right? We know where we need to be on the price. We know how to negotiate. We know how to communicate effectively, right? We know the right questions to ask, the wrong questions to ask, the right approach. Like, we're fucking ready to go. We are fucking ready to go. We got the money now, right? We're well-funded. We've made the mistakes. We know what has to be done. It is fucking winning season, baby. It is time to fucking take this business to where it needs to be. It is time to take this business from 0 to 1 million, motherfucker. Let's fucking go. If we add up all the deals that we've done, the first, 10,750. The second, 15,000. The third, 5,000. This deal, $14,200. $44,000 we're at. 4.4% of the way there. Struggled for those first $44,000. You've been here, right? Now, it's time to work smarter and not harder, right? It's time to cut out all the bullshit, to focus on what's working, and to scale that process. And that's what's going to get this business going consistently, and making it consistent is what's going to make it easier to scale, and that's how we're going to get to $1 million. That's where we're at. I'm going to try to do this series more, but if you want to really be on top of it, go subscribe to Chump Change. We got some great guests lined up. Super excited. We talk to all kinds of people, business, creative, you name it. And yeah, thank you guys for supporting the journey, for even having any interest. It's fucking incredible that people actually give a shit. I'm gonna make you guys proud. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace!